YouTube is not just the new TV. It also is a new streamer. And when you think of these other streaming platforms, they don't just have shows on them. The other thing that they have on them is movies. And back in the beginning months of this show, we talked, you actually questioned me a lot about this, and I think it was rightfully so. We talked a lot about this movie called Two Sleepy People, which was Creator Camp's indie film funded for about $100,000 that was written and...
$100,000?
$100,000, written and starred in by TikTokers, basically. And I found it fascinating. And so we started this show in, I think, September of last year. It was right around that time that they were making their big tour. And throughout the end of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, they found their way into actual movie theaters. And they got distribution for this film in theaters that, again, throughout the end of 2025 and the beginning of 26 was a kind of a big question mark, whether they'd be able to do that at all. All in all, it seemed like they had achieved a lot. By the end of the story, basically, it seemed like they'd achieved most of what they had kind of set to achieve. But there was one remaining question. What happens to the movie after it's in theaters? Because usually movies then go to, well, back in the day, DVD or VHS. Nowadays, it's streaming. And my understanding that I repeated over and over again on the show was that they were going to release it on YouTube. That was the thing I'd seen in comment sections, in the posts about it, in the discussion about it. And the thing is that I checked yesterday, and this is the thing that they said. Will the movie be, this is from their website, will the movie be on streaming? We don't have a streaming deal yet. So for now, it's exclusively playing in theaters. We want to give everyone a chance to watch the movie, and we'll be expanding to international markets in theaters next February based on the demand map above.
Next February is in 2027?
I think so. To me, what this actually says, because this is clearly not updated in the last several months, they're not going to release it on YouTube. They're trying to get an actual streaming deal to put it somewhere else, which I think is, I don't know, I question it personally. I think it's a mistake.
Well, we don't know why they're doing it.
Yeah, tell me.
They want to make money.
Exactly.
And money up front is better than money not guaranteed.
Yes.
So that's the thing that, by the way, you're already seeing this, right? Prime buying podcasts or Netflix buying podcasts. We saw some of that.
Yes.
When we're like going through the library and saw the podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like we saw on the Netflix platform that's an option now. Spotify buying out Joe Rogan from YouTube and getting them to Spotify. And now he's back at YouTube, even though Spotify paid him to renew their relationship. So it is happening already. And I already know, because I know some of these creators that are part of some of these opportunities, this upfront money. It's a big paycheck.
Yeah.
And the thing is, my question is, why do you think it's a mistake for them not to put it onto YouTube?
Their audience, it's exactly what you just said, would gain such an affinity for them by posting it to YouTube. And I think it's much more likely to gain a much broader reach than it is if it's on these streaming platforms. I think what's going to happen if it goes to the streaming platforms, I think that it'll get buried underneath all of the other higher production stuff. I think if it's posted to YouTube.
Unless it's a good show. If it's a good show, it won't get buried.
But it's a movie, right? So it's just one thing.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a show or movie.
Oh, okay.
It
is a good movie, by the way. I watched it. I had a lot of fun watching it. It was good.
So then the thing is this. You know that K-pop Demon Hunters, they thought was going to be whatever.
I do, yeah. In fact, they didn't even make toys for Christmas because they thought it was just kind of a throwaway film.
And it's like so mind-boggling knowing how successful that movie is. When I even hear it, I'm not only in disbelief, I already forgot all of it because it just seems wild that they didn't think that this movie would be a hit. Yeah. Okay. If it's a hit and it's on a platform like that, people will seek out to watch it. Even if it's not on YouTube. And so it's funny, you and I, right? We want to talk. We were all about human nature and what people want to do. And we're talking about the audience. And that's why YouTube is successful because they have all the content on YouTube for free.
Oh, for free.
For free.
Yeah.
But guess who needs to get paid?
The creators. Yeah.
And the creators do get paid on YouTube with AdSense.
Yeah.
But it's nowhere near. You just did the whole graph of all this money is going to come from TV to this world.
Yeah.
The Google AdSense can't even keep up.
Yeah, that's very true.
What's happening, okay? And they're still trying to figure it out. But you know what? You know what's better than just like targeted ads, whatever, like for advertisers, guaranteed ads.
Very
Like,
true.
hey, if this is a hit show, whatever. I mean, I was just thinking, like the next Demon, they're going to make another K-pop Demon
of
Hunters.
course.
Okay. Well, do you think that there will be brands inside the movie?
Ooh, I bet you there'll be at least one.
And if not a brand inside a movie, it would be their own products inside the movie, and they'll have them all ready to go.
Yeah.
Some way, okay? Because there's an affinity to this, right? Like,
Yeah.
so that's, and then do you think if there is a brand, they're going to pay money?
Oh,
to get
totally.
upfront or after the movie or
Upfront.
like upfront? You can't, like, this is the thing about creators. In the beginning, it was like, you're selling out now that you're doing a brand deals. Well, as a creator now for almost 20 years, you can't like blame them for it. They work their butts to get here.
Yeah.
So if they can do a paycheck and maybe the movie doesn't get as well, you know who's done this twice now? Casey Neistat. He sold his original show to HBO. I think it got one airing and then it never saw the light of day. No one even knows about that show, okay? And guess what? You did it again with Beam.
Yeah.
Who bought it? CNN. And no one's seen the Beam ever again. Now, I know what you're saying. His audience, they don't have access to it. They helped build Beam up. That's why it became so successful. So like in a way, like, but you know what? Casey, he got the bag.
Yeah.
And he's moved on with his life. That's just how it is.
Yeah.
It's a difference between like what is ideal and what's like altruistic and what's like great for the world and we think would be a bigger opportunity versus a guaranteed opportunity.
Okay, so here's my pushback, which is that it depends on who you are, where you're at in your career, and what audience you're trying to reach. To your point, actually, right? So for this group of people who I think have made a good, fun film, but not a blockbuster, not something that's going to be as popular as K-pop Demon Hunters, that the accessibility to their audience and the potential viewership that they would get on YouTube is more valuable to them right now in terms of the long-term investment than the money would be. Now, I don't besmirch them for looking to get that money. They deserve to get paid, especially for a great film that they made. But I think strategically speaking, I would bet right now that if they posted it to think about who they're competing with in terms of the content there. They're competing with Oppenheimer and K-pop Demon Hunters on Netflix versus who else on YouTube? Who else is making feature-length films? Well, we'll get to one in a second, actually. But to me, it makes a lot more sense that they would reach their audience where they're at, use that to gain success and notoriety on YouTube and the YouTube algorithm. Because think about it. If somebody's watching that, they're like, oh, this is kind of weird. There's like a 2-hour-long, like scripted, acted, directed movie on YouTube that I can watch for free. I might just turn that on a Friday night and they click it and they watch it, right? The algorithm's going to love that in terms of watch time and viewership and viewer satisfaction and everything like that. And then what do? They've proven their ability to create a hit. And who hires them next? Netflix. That's my bet. And I think that is why I think it's a kind of a mistake. Really, I don't know, because who knows? Maybe they'll get $1 million. Maybe they'll get $1 billion from Netflix or something like that, right? 200 million if OpenAI is buying them. Bottom line, I just think it's disappointing. I think that they should do...
And that's you talking as a fan.
And that's me talking as a fan.
And I'm saying it as somebody that's seeing creators go through this whole process and sell out. Literally, they're just selling their IP to get the bag because, again, Beam is a great example of it. What could have been if Beam didn't sell?
I don't know. I had mixed feelings about it.
Would it be as big as TikTok, right?
It's possible.
But we don't know.
We don't
but
know.
you know what was guaranteed? Here's a little paycheck, Casey. CNN's going to take it. You're going to come to the offices once in a while. And then like slowly he's not in the offices. They lay everybody off or they get sucked into the CNN machine. And so it's not even like a who's right situation. When I read it, they're telling you. You even telling, right? You're like disappointed. I'm like, you know what? Good for them. Because the last thing I would say, because I know that there's something else you want to cover. Did they make the movie and then become TikTokers? Or were they TikTokers and then they were able to make the movie?
Second option.
So even if this movie never sees the light of day, what if someone buys it and shelves it?
Yeah.
or it gets put on a streaming platform and no one watches it, including the audience who is used to getting their TikTok, are they going to still watch them on TikTok?
Totally.
I think most people will.
That's a great point.
And that's the superpower. This movie is not the superpower. That's my point.
That's a great point.
As a creator, it's the attention affinity that you have from your audience, not even just one show. We talk about a show because, yes, it is a way to do the prior thing, right? Which is like gain an audience. But I actually think it's as much about how the opportunities and the money you can make, right? Yeah. And the thing is this. Set everything aside. Casey right now, is he doing the new vlog method?
Not really.
Not really.
No, he's vlogging.
Is he still getting views?
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if they love you and they're a fan of you and you're doing stuff that's good enough, and when I say good enough, I'm not judging it like it's not great. I'm just saying like,
that's the reality.
He's like, I'm just doing whatever I want to do. And the more consistent he is, I think, and the better that is, and these creators who made this movie are capable of that, and anybody, because all this philosophizing that we're doing and these hypotheticals and theories, right now, every single day, creators get up and they make a piece of content and they do it again the next day. And that is a secret. But if you can elevate it to that show, that's again, where like now you're creating something that has a bigger opportunity, more reach potentially, and could get you a big payday.
Well, and here's the best example of this. Neutrally, you're a big fan of horror films, right? I think so. Okay, there we go. There he is. I bring it up because there is a creator who's making feature films and they plan to release them on YouTube. And that creator is Markiplier. You familiar? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you talked about the folks who were creating those YouTube originals. He actually was one of them. He created one of the YouTube original shows back in the day. And he actually cites this as an example of his ability to get chops to make a feature film came from that early funding from YouTube. But for those who don't know, Markiplier released a film called Iron Lung. And Iron Lung is this movie that's based off of a breakout indie horror game by the same name, by David Szymanski, I think is what it is. And there's a deep alignment here with Markiplier and what he's known for on YouTube, because he gained notoriety for playing games and doing playthroughs, especially for things like horror games, like indie horror games like this. And so Iron Lung is produced, written, directed, and starred in by Markiplier. It opened in theaters on January 30th, around the same time that Two Sleepy People was in theaters. And here are the numbers. A $4 million budget, mostly self-funded, and a $50 million worldwide gross in theaters. So that's a 10x plus return on investment for this film. Here's the real kicker. They had basically zero marketing budget. Most movies in theaters, you don't necessarily think about this, but a big portion of their expenses is not paying for the actors, not paying for the fancy cameras or the travel or the giant crew. It's actually paying for the marketing. Marketing is super expensive in Hollywood. And so the question is, how is that possible? How is it possible that Markiplier, this random little YouTuber who's never made a movie before, is able to spend $4 million, make $50 million, and not market it at all? Well, it's because the promotion came from Markiplier himself, which is exactly your point. So, this is Zach Neetim, I think, from Deadline, who says, Iron Lung, the breakout feature from filmmaker and content creator Markiplier, will debut on YouTube on May 31st. The filmmaker announced the film's YouTube premiere date this morning during a panel in Cannes, which is moderated by Deadline. The film will be available for purchase on YouTube, and the release will be a YouTube exclusive. So here you go.
Is he the main character?
He's the main character, I believe, in this. So here you go. This is sort of the happy medium between the two sides, which is that he is coming back to YouTube. And actually, I think he's making people pay for it on YouTube, at least at first. But he's going to the place where his audience is back at. And I would be willing to bet, I mean, he already made a 10x return. I bet you he's going to make some ridiculous money on this return to YouTube. And I think it's amazing to see a YouTuber make that full circle. Not that he's the first one, but like he's really having quite a bit of success.
Yeah, versus selling out to a streaming platform.
He retains total control.
Let me ask you this. If you made $50 million, this is a complete hypothetical. By the way, are we at the end?
I've got one small thing and then we'll close.
Say you made $50 million, okay? So that's about a $40 million profit, $45 million profit from this movie getting released in theaters. This is ballparking it. How much do you think he could make on YouTube? Like do a low and a high.
I actually don't even know.
It doesn't even matter what number. I'll tell you why. But just make up a number that he could make low and a high. Like, okay, it does
million.
well. Another 50 million.
Let's just say that's like a high.
That's a high. Okay?
I don't know. It
Let's
could be
just
even
say
more.
low.
But
Let's just say low 5 million, high 50 million.
yeah.
And say he believes that. He's like, he's done the numbers. He's like thought about his audience. This many people buying this much. I could make about 50 million. You know, if it doesn't do well, maybe $5 million. And he knows this. He thinks this. He believes this. 5 to 50 million. Amazon over here. Netflix over here. Oh, what's going on? We heard you had a movie that was a pretty big hit. And we want to buy it. Oh, really? Oh, okay. You think he's like, F you? No, he'd like, oh, what's the number? Oh, what is the number? And he's like, oh, no, I need to know the number from you guys. I got other interested buyers. And he does. He has Amazon, Netflix. And they offer him $75 million. You tell me, what do you think he would do?
It's hard to say, but it would be very tempting to sell that because he's going to get the return.
It's more than what he even believes it could do.
Yeah.
In fact, do you think not just like streaming platforms, but networks and even just like studios have a history, including like a Disney, overpaying for IP?
Totally.
What are we even talking about here? But it's already a guaranteed success because guess what it's going to do? It's going to steal that audience from YouTube and bring it to, that's their whole business model right now.
Very true.
They need it. So I'm not saying is it right or wrong. Remember, we're in the business of helping creators make more money so they can continue doing what they're doing or do whatever the heck they want to do. If they want to retire, right? Do that. Okay. I just say all this. Only, guess what? I'm only saying this because of your whole long presentation you just given to show there's evidence and there's data to show that that money is here now.
Yes.
And it's not for just A-list celebrities and people in Hollywood or the TV landscape. It's for creators. This is a good example. This is a good bet for Netflix or Amazon to buy it up.
That's a good point.
In fact, guess what? I'm more likely to watch this. You're going to be surprised by this answer. On Amazon or Netflix than I would on YouTube.
Why is that?
Because I'm like used to Amazon and Netflix being the place I would watch a movie.
So you're already there. And speaking of audience, part of that is the
I'm
type
a
of content you
YouTuber.
want to
I
watch.
like supporting YouTubers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But you know what? I don't go to YouTube when I want to watch the movie.
Yes.
The movie, okay? And guess what? I pay movie. We paid like $20 on Amazon Prime for something like is gonna probably only be $5 in 4 weeks, but we had to watch it. Judy's like, "Oh, it's a good deal." It's like we used to pay 99 cents to rent this thing at Blockbuster, right? And now we're paying $24. Point is, it's like part of the behavior. Versus, I can get all kinds of free content on YouTube. There isn't a wrong or right. I think that looking at the human behavior and the benefit to the creator, you always have to balance it out. By the way, we're totally making this up. Mark could be like, F that. I'm okay with making 5 or 10 million and being true to YouTube. There will be creators like that.
For sure.
I can guarantee you there's going to be as many people, if not more, taking the paycheck because that is the ultimate win. For them to make that much money, they would have to create so much content and it's not guaranteed and so many things could happen. Day one, get a paycheck. I mean, neutrally, what would you do? Are you going to go for a 75 million or potentially making 5 million? You just tell me straight up, neutrally. How many cars would you buy with that money, okay? And have leftover for houses?